all y'all do is run down Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and you continuously do this, and that's why your ratings are in the tank, ma'am. And that's why your ratings are in the tank, ma'am. And that's why your ratings are in the tank, ma'am.
Emotional damage.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. That's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And somebody call the police, because that was just an assault on TV. CNN yesterday, they had a bad day, worse than they usually have. That's Tim Burchett from Tennessee. He destroys whoever that was. I think she might have quit. And then we're going to hear from Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff to President Trump, who absolutely just schools, I believe her name is Brianna Keilar on CNN. We're going to hear from Burchett first, then we'll get to Stephen Miller. I'll comment on the way. This is good, but it's ugly for CNN. Let's go.
Congressman, hold on. I want to go to this question because, again, it's not a question of whether waste should be rooted out of the government. So many people agree with that. But now we're seeing it's the way it's being done. The government is trying to claw back several employees who oversaw nuclear weapons after they were fired. They realized, oh, we made a mistake. We need staffers who oversee nuclear weapons. A professor at the University of Maryland, Don Kettle, who specializes in civil service, told
a professor, he specializes in civil service. I worked in civil service. I had a civil service job for 25 and a half years. Does that mean that I specialize in civil service? Could I be a professor too?
Washington Post that, yes, the government is likely full of wasteful bloat, but said a clumsy fix is worse than no fix at all, saying it's like going to a meat market, getting a piece of steak, and trying to cut out the fat with a sledgehammer. That would only make a mess of the meat. Do you think, Congressman, that is a fair point, that the way this is being done is clumsy rather than methodical?
No, we voted for a sledgehammer. That's what we want. We don't want methodical. Methodical means let's have a committee hearing on this. Let's have this. Let's talk about this. No. We want this just ripped out, root and branch, all the nonsense, all the bloat, all the waste, all the fraud, all the abuse, all the corruption. We want it all ripped out. And if this is what happens, maybe 300 people get fired and we go, all right, we actually need them. They can come back. That's fine. But the rest of it, it's got to go out, and it's got to go out quickly.
Again, you're upset about you're attacking the message carrier, not the results. You talk about nuclear secrets. You had a person who was in charge of nuclear secrets, a man who dressed up as a woman, would go into the airport and steal women's luggage, was overseeing those nuclear secrets under the Biden administration. And I never heard y'all say a peep about that. Again, man,
I don't know anything about that. I'll be transparent.
You don't know anything about that. You don't know anything about that, and you're a news anchor? Well, there you go, because it was never reported on CNN probably, or if it was done maybe once. There you go. Thank you for saying the quiet part out loud.
You need to look it up. It's all over the internet. It's all over. He was uncharged.
But the question is, this is unrelated to the people overseeing nuclear weapons being fired. And Elon Musk himself said, we're moving so fast, of course there will be mistakes. The question is, some of these mistakes are really high stakes. Accidentally firing people overseeing nuclear weapons. Do you see that point?
Humans will make mistakes, ma'am, but currently these are bloated programs. You have no-show employees that are angry that they're having to go back to work, that they've moved. And they're not.
No one's disagreeing. There's bloat and waste. No one's disagreeing.
Well, then why are y'all not?
This is the talking point. We're not disagreeing there's bloat and waste. We just don't like the way you're doing it. What does that mean? Wait a minute. Who's ever even done it? Nobody's ever tried to actually really do it, right? So we just don't like the way you're doing it. Nah, sorry. You don't get to play this game. We agree it's there, but we don't. Well, you know what? Donald Trump won the election. He said he was going to do it. This is how he's doing it. So you know what? Take a seat and be quiet.
Exposing it. Have y'all even talked about, hey, Mozambique, we sent them $10 million for circumcisions? Okay. I mean, goodness gracious, ma'am. Americans are paying
we've been covering at length
salaries.
Where the money is going to.
No, you haven't. All y'all do is run down Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and you continuously do this, and that's why your ratings are in the tank, ma'am. All
right, Congressman Tim Burchett, we're going to leave it there. I do appreciate your time coming on and having this conversation. Thank you very much.
I could watch that all day. I have actually. I probably watched that. I made a short video out of it. I probably watched that 50 times. It is absolutely hysterical. You could see her soul leaving her body as he's saying that to her. But it's true. That's why CNN is in the toilet. You know Margaret Brennan from CNN, CBS, and the faces she makes, the condescending looks. This is what they're all doing now. If you watch her, everything's a gotcha question. Everything is a gotcha question. It's not an interview. It's a debate with gotcha questions. That's all it is. And they're getting schooled now because people have had enough of that nonsense. If you want me to come on and talk about something, I'll talk about it. We can have a discussion. But everything's a gotcha question. Oh, they were nuclear secrets. They were protecting nuclear weapons. And without even going into any context, any nuance, nothing. Nothing. It's just, oh, we got them. They fired people with nuclear secrets they were holding. No, you didn't get anything. And guess what? I don't care. No nuclear bombs went off, and you had somebody with the nuclear codes for the last 4 years who was so, we were told was too senile to stand trial. So you know what? Take it and shove it. Anyway, let's now go to Stephen Miller, who just absolutely destroys Brianna Keilar. Let's watch this one.
And so there are military members of the Guard and Reserve. They are protected by law from being fired from their day job while they're deployed. I have learned that at one agency, an employee who's actually currently deployed with the military has been notified they've been fired. Does your administration understand who actually makes up this workforce that they're dismantling?
See, right away. You guys even understand what you're doing? It's condescension. She's setting him up for a gotcha. And there's going to be a couple more coming.
I'm sorry, I'm confused by your question. Is your question, does the president have the authority to fire a member of the U.S. military?
This is someone who is a federal employee and is currently deployed, who has government protection. As I'm sure you're aware,
there's
there are
a lot
laws
of
protecting that.
So this person she's talking about apparently works somewhere in the government and is also a National Guard member who's currently deployed. And they're saying there's a law, and she's going to cite the law in a second, that says they can't be fired from their job while they're deployed. Well, I guess they got fired. You know what? Fight it in court or learn how to code. How do you like those responses? Those are familiar, aren't they? Isn't that what you were telling everybody on the right? Fight it in court. Learn how to code. Stuff like that. Now you deal with it. See how that works? Hey guys, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe. I do one video a day at least. If I don't do one video, it's because of circumstances that were beyond my control and I couldn't get it done. But please like, share, and subscribe and help me grow this channel. I appreciate it.
I don't know what laws you're referring to. I would love for you to be more specific. So far, you're not telling me the employee, the agency,
Uniformed Services
the
Employment and Reemployment Rights Act. It's well known by HR in the federal government and in private industry as well.
So, okay, so you're saying that the president, in your view, doesn't have the authority to recall a member of the armed forces who may or may not, again, I'm the first time hearing of this, that may or may not be serving overseas?
Stephen, you understand how the Guard and Reserve work. They have a day job, and then when they're activated, they deploy.
She's talking to you. Wouldn't this be considered mansplaining if this was the other way around? Isn't that what this would be considered?
While they deploy,
right, but
that employment is protected by law.
Your question is lacking in so much detail. I promise you I'm trying to follow your question. Are you asking me if the president has the authority to remove a member of the military who may be serving overseas? Is that your question?
My question was...
Okay, well, I don't know how much airtime you want to spend on this, but I'm not following your question.
Well, I think it's an important one. I guess I'll determine how much airtime I spend on it, but...
Yeah, we're going to spend all this airtime on one person. We found one. Like I said in the last one, you fired people that were protecting nuclear weapons. And this one, a member of the National Guard who also works for the government was fired from their government job while they were deployed. What are you guys going to do about this? Do you realize what you're doing? They're cherry picking to the point. It's pathetic.
Does your administration understand who is in the federal workforce?
Yes, we have such a broad question. Of course, we understand who's in the federal workforce. And I'm happy to indulge all of these very histrionic questions
that
about anyone who may or may not be fired.
That it's 30% veterans?
But I think that
and that you have people who are deployed?
Suddenly, CNN care about veterans? How many homeless veterans are there? How many homeless veterans are there that we could have taken care of with all the money we sent to Ukraine? How many homeless veterans are there with all the money we spent on illegal aliens? How many homeless veterans, self-delete every day, Brianna Keilar? I believe the number is around 22. But now we're talking, all of a sudden you're going to stand on the soapbox talking about veterans? Get out of here.
The U.S. government has $36 trillion in debt. The interest payments on the debt exceed the national defense budget. The American people are exhausted and tired of watching their tax dollars be corruptly spent, abused, wasted, and in every sense robbed and stolen from them. This president, for the first time in history, is committed to restoring accountability at every level of the federal government. You may assert there's no waste in the Pentagon. You may assert there's no waste in
Stephen,
Treasury.
I'm not
you may assert there's no waste in HHS.
That, Stephen.
Right, here we go again. No, we agree. There's plenty of waste in this and that, but we just don't want you guys to do anything about it.
Stephen, I don't think anyone...
Then why are you not celebrating these cuts? If you agree there is waste, if you agree there is abuse, if you agree there is corruption, why are you not celebrating the cuts, the reforms that are being instituted? Every day that no action is taken, the entire salaries of American workers that are taxed disappear for...
Now she's talking to him, calm down. She's talking like, now again, she's woman-splaining him. Hey, Stephen, calm down. Did you ever tell a Democrat to calm down when they're up there ranting and raving and acting like lunatics? Did they ever tell them to calm down?
Stephen, let's calm down.
This is
we're not having a debate.
There's no reason
about whether there are places...
You are clearly trying to debate me, and I will be as excited as I want to be about the fact that we are saving Americans billions of dollars, that we are ending the theft and waste and grift and corruption, that we are stopping American taxpayer dollars from subsidizing a rogue federal bureaucracy that has been relentlessly weaponized against the American people.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie in anything he just said? Somebody tell me, where's the lie? That's why this is an absolute dead loser for the Democrats. They could cherry pick every instance and find somebody who was wrongly terminated in their eyes. It doesn't matter. It is such a loser. This is such a losing issue for them, and they refuse to just try to get on the right side of it. They refuse to just try to come to the table and maybe just have some dialogue and be involved in these cuts. And you know what? Good, because the people in this country, like he just said, are so exhausted by this. We don't care how this gets done at this point. We just want it done. And you know what? If some people in the federal government who maybe got fired that shouldn't have been, I'm sorry about that. But at the same time, I don't believe that it's very many. Most of them deserve to be fired. They're not doing anything. They're staying home, and their job probably could be, the job that they're doing could be done by 25 less people in the department. How about this? You do more with less. I was told that during my career plenty of times. Now it's time for the people in the federal government to get that message. You're not guaranteed a job for life just because you work for the federal government. Please, enough is enough.
Okay,
you
Stephen,
may not care about
I'm
this
not
issue.
talking about
your colleagues may not care about this issue, but we care about this issue. The American people care about this issue.
They also care about privacy.
And the American public overwhelmingly supports what President Trump is doing.
Let's talk about IRS data the DOGE will be able to access. You have DOGE asking for access to the IRS systems. This includes the integrated data retrieval system. I know you've talked about this a little bit. Will DOGE employees be able to access individual taxpayer ID numbers and social security numbers?
No. But also, keep in mind, you keep
Will
talking
they be able
about
to
DOGE
access
employees.
taxpayer bank account information?
They will not be able to access anything that any other appropriately authorized federal employee could access. When you keep talking about, quote, DOGE employees, you're just talking about federal workers. You're just literally talking about federal workers. So your question may as well be, can federal workers do their job? The job of the federal workers at the IRS is to prevent...
What are you asking? He just told you that federal workers that'll have access that any other federal worker in that position would have. You're not taking him at his word? Or just come out and say, I think you're lying, if that's what you think.
Well, I'm telling you that is actually what you are asking. DOGE is part of the federal government. It is a term to describe the employees of the federal government who've been tasked with anti-fraud and anti-corruption activities. Again, you may not consider it a scandal that millions of illegal aliens are accepting and receiving taxpayer benefits. You might not consider it a scandal that millions of illegal aliens have stolen Social Security numbers and are committing rampant theft of American resources.
You say that you're looking at widespread fraud in the IRS data, and you mentioned yesterday, and you mentioned again here, illegal immigrants who are getting child tax credits. Are you looking for that information in the IRS data?
Why shouldn't we? See, they're bringing up, if they have child tax credits, that means they have a child. You're gonna deport somebody with a child? See, this is what we're talking about. I say it all the time. If inflation persists, okay, and you are going to see on TV, on CNN, on MSNBC, on CBS, ABC, NBC, you're going to see starving children like you might as well have seen somewhere in some continent far, far away. They're going to show videos of people starving, standing in made-up bread lines. Watch, you'll see. I hope it doesn't come to that, but you'll see. That's what you're going to get. Because right now, but there's children. It might be an illegal alien with a child that we might, find committing fraud.
Anytime a crime is committed, of course there should be an investigation. Is it your position that if somebody who is
Stephen,
here
are you looking for that
criminally
information in the IRS
dollars,
data?
Why shouldn't we?
The federal government will find every illegal alien who is stealing American taxpayer dollars. And that's what Americans expect to happen.
Will you find that in the IRS
I don't
data
even
and
fathom
share
the
that with
premise
law
of your
enforcement?
question.
It's a simple question. Will you find that information in the IRS data and share that with law enforcement?
If IRS investigators find illegal aliens stealing taxpayer money, of course they'll be referred to ICE. Of course they'll be referred to Homeland Security investigations. Of course it will be. Surely your position is not that we should let illegal aliens steal taxpayer dollars. Again, you want to talk about something to be upset about, that's it. What do you think? The millions of illegal aliens who've also stolen Social Security. Illegal aliens in mass have fake Social Security numbers. They have fake identities. Those are felonies. Why should there be an entire class in this country that is immunized from criminal prosecution and arrest for committing felonies? Felony theft of taxpayer information, felony theft of Social Security, felony theft of identity. These are all crimes. And yes, they will be investigated. Yes, they will be prosecuted. And yes, illegal aliens will be deported. And you know what happens when those deportations occur?
Just very quickly,
is that Americans will get jobs, Americans will get benefits, Americans will get houses.
Stephen, if they got a credit, a child tax credit, and they will be referred, you're saying, to ICE for that, and you would expect deported for that? Is that the position of the administration?
If it is found that a crime has been committed.
Why wouldn't it be? Again, see, they have a child.
They'll be referred. If it justifies a prosecution, they'll be prosecuted. If it justifies a deportation, they will be deported. This will be based on existing IRS protocols and procedures for criminal investigation and fraud.
All right,
the difference is that no one is given immunity anymore. No one is given permission to break the law anymore. Because this is not a country, this is not a sovereign territory, if illegal aliens can freely steal billions, with a B, billions of taxpayer dollars. And I would have to imagine that CNN, which is endlessly talks about the importance of democracy and the rule of law, would say that no class in this country should be above the law, least of all illegal aliens who've trespassed on our territory.
No, Stephen, I'm just asking, I wanted to get your position on some things. We're not taking a position here. We wanted to get some answers to some questions. There are so many questions that need to...
And it ends there. Yeah, we're not taking a position here at CNN. No, we're straight down the middle. You know, it's the who, the what, the where, the when, the how. That's all we want to report at CNN. Oh, really? Who are you kidding? Are you out of your mind? Nobody's buying it. Like I said, this is such a loser for the Democrats that they are going to die on this hill of fighting and of just everything that they're trying to do to root out the corruption, the fraud, the abuse, the waste is incredible. It's incredible. It amazes me every day that somebody in that party, anybody, doesn't wake up and say, guys, we have to stop this. We have to come back to reality. This issue, the longer this goes on, it's going to pull in the 80s and 90s if it keeps going like this in favor of Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and DOGE. The more the Democrats push back on this, the more in favor people are going to become of it because everybody's saying, what are you guys so afraid of? We want all this stuff found. I don't care how he does it at this point. I'm not worried about Elon Musk taking my Social Security number. I'm not worried about Big Balls taking my Social Security number. I'm not worried about it. I have LifeLock. I'll be fine. People, I don't care. Just find it and save my money. And now Elon Musk is talking about a $5,000 dividend check with the savings that every American could get. Not sure if I want that because I'm not sure if I want more people to have $5,000 and we spend it again and we get inflation going crazy again. I don't know about that. I'd rather maybe take that money that we save, pay the debt off with it, or maybe give it to veterans. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. But it would be a nice problem to have, wouldn't it? Trying to decide what to do with that money. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I think CNN just got absolutely abused, as they should. Because like I said, these aren't interviews. These are people come on, and now they're prepared for it. It's all gotcha questions. Everything's a gotcha question, trying to nail them, trying to make them look bad. And you know what? Now they're making themselves look even worse than they already are. Because people have caught on to this. You guys let me know what you think. I appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.